Response. Please help us support the Red Cross's efforts in helping people recover from natural disasters. Your donation to Northwest Response will help those affected by the raging California wildfires.
Well, one of the big issues surrounding these fires is whether or not this is a sign of things to come. Meteorologist Darren Peck tonight is looking into the impact climate change is having.
California may be in the headlines now, but 3 months ago, it was us when Seattle experienced some of the worst air quality in the country, and there are far too many things we have in common with the wildfire issues in California. So let's discuss some of that. For a little perspective and to bring the story back home, I want to show you how wildfire has changed across our state over the last 30 years. On this map, you're seeing every wildfire that happened from 1984 to 2001. Can you see them on here? It's not a lot, but they're there. They're shaded in green and blue. Now we're going to add in every wildfire that has happened from 2001 through 2017, and all of a sudden a story begins to appear here. Wildfire has been behaving very differently in this state and throughout the West since about the turn of the millennium. And if we come in for a close-up look here, remember the green and blue outlines? Those are the fires before 2000, but it's the red and orange fires that have all happened since then. Lake Chelan is a perfect example of this. We've got one fire here that happened before 2000. Every other fire on here, and you can see Lake Chelan is perfectly rimmed by wildfire. Every stretch of the shoreline has had it. They've all happened since 2000. So to gain a little more perspective on what's going on here, let's go back to California as our example. And if we take a look at California's rainfall, for the 3 months before these fires started, there wasn't any. Everything on here in brown shows you where there wasn't any rain. Now, California doesn't get a lot of rain in the fall anyway, but what little it gets, the 3 to 5 inches, is crucial in safeguarding these landscapes from the Santa Ana winds, which pick up this time of year. And the winds were a big part of the fires, and you've been hearing that in the news a lot, but they were not the leading factor. It was the climate. It was the 3 months leading up to these fires that were the problem. And a concerning look ahead, here's some of the latest climate research out. For California specifically, here's how precipitation is going to change throughout the seasons. December, January, and February, we're likely going to see more rain than we're seeing now. This line shows you what we're seeing now. More rain comes in the depths of winter, but most importantly, less rain is forecast to come in the autumn, when California needs it most before the Santa Ana winds set in. This is a projection looking forward to the next 100 years, but the way things played out this year fit this to a T.
Well, the National Rifle Association and local groups are suing to block a new gun control measure. Washington voters passed Initiative 1639 last week. It bans the sale of semi-automatic rifles to people under 21. It also requires buyers to pass an enhanced background check and prove they've taken a firearms training course. The lawsuit